Okay, late March 1865. I'm going to go through this as quick as possible so that I'm not making these videos too long. Over here in Virginia, I'm going to cover the movements here really quick, and then I'll go over what just happened as far as activity is concerned. I'm just moving militia up here to kind of get to Richmond for ultimately for training purposes, to train them up to line infantry. I still have my 5 Corps over here under Lee. We've now combined Jackson and having those 3 Corps there, and he's in support of Claiborne and Stewart. Now, what I'm going to do with Stewart is I just made him a 2-star, really just to connect him to the rest of the Corps, so that if there's an attack on my far left flank, these guys will come to support him. But that's really the only reason to do that with him. And then I'm going to connect, obviously, Lee with Stewart. I'm going to do a couple more things over here before I run the turn, but I just wanted to show you what I was doing there. Down here, Warwick, he did invade my rear, so I think what he's trying to do is force me off the front here and kind of backtrack, which I probably will have to do, because if I don't respond to this, then he's going to go up the rail line towards DC, so I am moving Stewart down here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to move a variety of divisions up here. I'm going to move some divisions down and then put them in with Stewart and combine them that way. So like this guy right here, Pickett and Norfolk, I'm going to have him go around. He can get here in 1 turn, and then I'm going to try and build a little buffer here with Jackson, and then to dig in. I don't necessarily want to pull Jackson off of here, but you know, I got to give somewhere, so that's the kind of plan, is to just kind of slow him down here while at the same time trying to hold up here. So the Battle of Warwick, let's go over that one real quick here. He landed with 86,000 troops. He only lost obviously 1,500, so not a big deal. Let's see, it looks like Lyon is the army commander. Fremont's a corps commander. That many troops though, he has to have 2 corps. I would guess. Yeah, 2 corps. Oh geez, he's got Fremont leading that army? Ugh. So right now he has Lyon as a corps commander, it looks like, and then Warren as the other corps commander. So that's what he has over here, so we're going to respond in kind and try and put a little buffer behind these rivers. Alright, let's jump down to here. So he did move out of Charleston, so now I'm going to try and go take Charleston with some cavalry. Cavalry and a little bit of artillery. So it'll take us 15 days. We'll see. Again, it's worth a lot of money, so if I can take that back, I'm just going to keep taking it. As many times as he leaves it vacant, I'm going to take it back, hopefully. But I'm going to send my cavalry down there and see what happens. I am trying with Albert Sidney Johnson to now get him over to support over Atlanta, because things are getting a little hairy over there, as I will show you here in a moment. Okay, so last turn we were talking about how there was a battle up here across the river. I retreated down across the river. Well, he crossed the river, immediately attacked, and won. I did not hold on for very long. I'm not entirely sure why. I don't know if he just had that many more numbers than me, or if I just wasn't sufficiently dug in, or what the deal was. But that wasn't it. It was this one. So I don't know why I fled, because I had more troops than he did. His entire army did not engage for some reason. He lost 10,000 troops. I lost 65, but I thought I was on blue-red, and so I shouldn't have fled. Had a little bit of cowardice here, but given the fact that I was so close to my supply depots, I shouldn't have run out of ammo. Let's see. So we did really well. Hour 1. Again, really well. Hour 2. Hour 3, same thing. I mean, he's got the river crossing penalties, right? Hour 4, 5. This would be the assault phase right here. So we really tore him up all the way through. I don't understand why we fled. And it was a Confederate victory. And yet he's chilling in my spot. So you know, I'm gonna pull back again, I guess, because now he's across the river. So the next battle will be him fighting me without the river crossing penalty. And honestly, you know, he could. So he attacked up here on Stewart, and if I keep Stewart here and he tries to push further, I have the possibility of being cut off. Now, I think there's an argument to be made that I stay and fight here, and you know, make him fight for every inch. I think it's a valid point. However, he's got more troops coming, and he's now across the river, so he doesn't have to deal with the river crossing penalty. And yeah, so I'm gonna pull back across this river here. And this is going to be kind of my last stand here, is across this river. It'll take him a couple turns to work his way down, right, until he can cross the river. So we'll see how that goes. And then get, you know, fully dug in and go from there. It's kind of hard to tell where everything's moving right now, so I'll, you know, once I run the turn and we come back, I can show you where everything ended up. Because I just got a lot of stuff moving around right now. But the ultimate objective here is get behind the river over here. And then also set up shop along this rail line here to make sure he doesn't come along. As you can see, he's already putting some guys down to try and harass up over here in Alabama. Speaking of which, let's go down to Alabama real quick. Okay, yeah, as you saw previously, we're able to get everybody out of there. He hasn't made any movements over here, so that's good. This guy, so I'm moving him over to Atlanta. I was able to get him out of this hellhole at least. But now these guys are stuck again because of the winter weather, the harsh weather. So I'm trying to get them down here. My supply depot is still doing decently. But he's got 36 days to get down here because of the weather. He's stuck here too. So this just ended up being a nightmare for us. I mean, how many divisions? I mean, look how many divisions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These were all full divisions. 5 full divisions. 6th full division. And then 2 more. So that's a lot of divisions that are not supporting Atlanta right now. So you know, that, like I said, this whole game, that was my biggest you know, mess up was losing Chattanooga. That was kind of a game changer, literally. All right, I still got Morgan hanging out here. He can't. I don't think he can see him because I have 100% loyalty. And he doesn't have anybody nearby, so he does not know that Morgan's down here. So once the weather clears up, I'm going to send him up to start tearing up rail lines, destroying supply depots, and just getting his rear and make his life difficult. Ultimately, the goal is to try and make it so it's harder for him to get troops down to Atlanta. And if he does take Atlanta, make it harder for him to get out of Atlanta and use this rail line to go over to Virginia. All right, there's a little bit of action in Texas, nothing really of note, but I'll go over there anyways. So I'm just attacking there, and then, you know, he has all the main spots over here, basically, with the exception of right here, which, again, I don't want to lose because I don't want to lose Galveston, so I'm trying to hold this for as long as I can. And then I'm going to move Price, because I kind of felt like he was a waste over here in Texas at this point, just to kind of go over here and just harass him along the Mississippi, try and retake certain areas along the Mississippi. One, to mess up his supply coming down the Mississippi to these large forces down here in Louisiana, but also try and take a couple money makers. So, you know, if I can get, for example, Memphis back, or you know, even this little area here with this the plantation, all of these things provide supply and money to me, even for a turn that, you know, that's worth it. So I'm gonna try and harass him back here too, now that all his forces are forward and distracted elsewhere. I don't think there's anything else to report on this turn. Just gonna try and tear, you know, disrupt this area too, so you can't use it to rail into Virginia from the west. All right. Not much going on building because I have no money. As you can see, 10 money. We're basically out of money completely. And then just really quick casualties. 27,000 prisoners we've taken. We've lost almost 250,000 troops, and it's what, March 65, and I would not be surprised if that number does not double by the end of this game. which would be pretty crazy, right? 3.5 years of fighting, and it's that, and then in 6 months it could double. And then he's lost 273,000. So not too big of a disparity difference, right? But that was actually pretty consistent in the Civil War. The Union would always lose more troops than the Confederacy, but not by a whole lot. The battles tend to be pretty close. And then as far as morale, his is really high. I mean, that's insanely high for the Union, right? That's not good for us. And then ours is 97. So anytime the Union morale is higher than the Confederacy, you know things are going really bad for the Confederacy. All right, let me run the turn. We'll be back. Okay, no movement here over in Virginia just yet. I'm repositioning troops. I don't have Jackson up here quite yet. Looks like he'll be here in a turn. Three days. And then I'm moving him, pick it up with Stewart. So Stewart and Jackson will be in support of each other. And I can't tell if he moved guys out of here, like if he moved them towards, I don't know where they're at. I don't know if they're on the ship here. It is quite possible he may try and move up the river, right? So that's part of the reason I put Stewart here, is just for artillery battery fire. And then I've got a little bit of support here over in Richmond. But this will become more clear next turn once all this movement's done. But nothing going on just yet. Not even up here. He hasn't done anything quite yet. So funny enough, I was able to take Charleston. I took it again. So and again, this is why Charleston's fun to have. $20, right? So the next most valuable place for me is Richmond. So getting that back, it gives me $20 a turn. So even for one turn, that's $20. So I think he saw it, so he might be turning back around. So I'm getting out of there, and I'm just gonna keep taking Charleston until he's willing to keep troops here to hold on to it. But I find that kind of humorous. It's about the only thing that's going well for me right now. I'm also going to move him down and try and retake this area. Part of the reason is if I have this, as you can see with the rail lines as they are, while I can't use this rail line down around here to Atlanta, I can kind of jump across here and then rail this way and then up to Virginia. So holding this is critical to ensuring that my troops can go very quickly from Atlanta to Virginia if Atlanta ends up falling, or I feel like I have to completely vacate Georgia. So I don't think he has much here. It might be a division if that, and it's not even dug in. And I've got 2 divisions, so obviously not a whole lot more, but hopefully because he's not dug in, this is not a very good general, and I've got 2 divisions that hopefully will be enough to push him out. Now him, I'm sending him back to, where did I end up sending him to? I think I'm sending Gordon up to Virginia. Yeah, I believe so. Okay, so I'm now repositioned behind the river, and he is moving forward much quicker than I expected. It turned out it was a good idea that I pulled back, because as you can see here, he's got an 8,700 power force here, and another 7,900 power force there. And then Lord knows what is behind that, but that is very large, right? So if I had stayed there and fought it out without him dealing with the river crossing, I don't think it would have ended well, and then I probably would have been like right here, and then he might have been able to engage me before I jumped across the river. So at least here in Atlanta, I'm fully fortified. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 divisions there in Atlanta itself. Then I've got Beauregard, who I'm gonna try and move to reattach, but I'm gonna put a force here, and then I've got obviously Stewart right here with 3 divisions. So nothing in comparison to what he's got, but maybe I can at least make it so that it's really bloody for him, and it takes a fair amount of time for him to take Atlanta. I'm also moving Holmes up here. He's going to be that 3rd corps to support Atlanta, and he would have to go across the river, obviously, to do any kind of attack. So here's to hoping. I could see him coming around and hitting my right flank first to get across the river, and then go after Atlanta, because that's going to be a tough sell for him, coming directly across the river into effectively 3 corps, where this is the most fortified spot. So I don't see him doing that. I see him kind of going at one of the ends, probably over here. And I say over here because then it'll make it more difficult for me to get out of Georgia after he makes a move on Atlanta. So look out for that. Then I'm also moving Johnson up because he's got better defense, right? So kind of just putting everybody I can to support Atlanta. All right. Supply depot over here still doing okay. Still pulling stuff forward. These guys are still not doing anything. They're still stuck. Whatever. Sorry, excuse me. Yeah, I'm just kind of over this narrative. So if they ever get out of there, I'll let you know. Otherwise, I'm just kind of like, whatever. Kind of over it. Not happy at all with that circumstance. And every time I see that, it just reminds me of how much I screwed up over here. It's very frustrating. I did take this little plantation area, so that's a win. Right now, all I can do is look for the little small wins for me right now. But I took these 2 areas, so hopefully this will disrupt a little bit of his logistics, where his supply is coming down the Mississippi. Because as you can see, he does not have this rail line, so all of his supply is coming up the Mississippi. Now that being said, he probably has just a trove of supply here, you know, in New Orleans, so he could probably supply this whole region for quite some time with just this. But, you know, just do what I can, and hopefully the little stuff adds up over time. Okay, nothing else I think to cover here. I think we've got, yeah, I covered that, and then, yeah, so this. Union has commissioned more troops and equipment for its river transports. We may print money again, and the rail accident has occurred. So we lost some rail capacity, which is really annoying because I can't afford to invest in rail anymore. Before we conclude, I'm putting what I have into line infantry, which is nothing because I have no money. And then I am printing money, so that's going to increase inflation by 4%, which is already at 26%, but we need the money. That's it. All right. That's where we're at. Right here. I don't think he'll attack this next turn, but I can see him attacking the turn after down here, and I can already tell in Virginia there's going to be some movement. If it's not going to be late April, it's going to be early May. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching, and we'll be back. Okay, April 65, late April, we had a battle. He moved forward with Lions. I'm not sure if he knew Jackson would be here, or if, you know, he didn't care, or what the plan was. I know last turn, Jackson was still 3 days from arriving here. So, he got here, and then there was a battle. Let's see, how many days after? Looks like he got there, like, right when my guy... Oh, that's right, that's different. Oh, so he took a Norfolk over here. Maybe there wasn't a battle here. No, he's kind of just stuck there. So apparently we didn't have a battle, interestingly. But he did move forward, so he's got 3 divisions. And then when he attacked back here, it was with a division. And we have 3 divisions, and we're connected with Stuart. Got 2, so 5 total. We'll see what happens here. I don't know if he might attack us. If he tries to move out, we might have an opportunity to actually attack him. We'll see. I'm moving this. I'm moving Gordon. He was the one that was down in Georgia. Moved him up to connect him with Stuart, so we'll have 6 divisions there. And most of the stuff that's moving here are all reserves, militia guys that I'm going to ultimately train up. So that's why they're all there. That's why Taylor's now over here. And I'm going to use him to train up all the militia guys here. And then nothing happened over here. We still have 3 divisions up here, 3 corps. Surprisingly, right, I kind of expected him to attack maybe here. Because he's got this guy over here, plus he's got this massive force here. So maybe he's waiting until May? Sometimes it can be hard to tell with the Union because a lot of the time the Union will miss their activation rolls and they won't move. So it's always hard to tell whether this is something that Josh is doing intentionally or he tried to move and his guys didn't move or whatever. I think he took Charleston back. It's under siege, so we still have it. But we did win over here. So I think that was, yep. So we had 17,500. He only had 8,000. That was the garrison. But the battle before that, same thing. So we didn't lose any troops. He lost 460, and the place is ours now. And he's kind of outside the area, and we're holding on to it. But I'm gonna put Beauregard here, actually. And the main reason is I'm gonna have Johnson hold Atlanta, and then Beauregard's gonna hold over here. Just in the event that Atlanta falls, I want to be able to have a rail line of sorts to be able to get my guys out of there. So I think it's really important to have an army over there. And then I'll probably move Johnson over to Atlanta, potentially, and then move Joseph Johnson down here. The reason is that he just landed in Montgomery, Alabama. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to have Johnson move over here, collect all of these guys that are coming down here, build this army, and then use that to either retake Montgomery, Alabama, so I can go over and take join up in Atlanta, or maybe go down and take New Orleans back with this army, because the army looks pretty bad, right? Pretty bad off, like 127, but actually they just need supply. So when they get down to the supply depot and get resupplied, it'll be actually a pretty robust army. Granted, not where I want it to be. I would want it over in Atlanta, but maybe I can use them to take Montgomery back and then move up to support Atlanta, or move them down to New Orleans. However, I don't think Atlanta is going to be mine for much longer. Reason being, he's on the move. He's railing, so I still think he's going to attack over here. But you know what? He may go straight for Atlanta. I don't know. It's possible. I hope that he does, honestly. I would feel better about that than him hitting my wing, getting across the river, and then attacking Atlanta. But this is what we got. We've got 5 divisions here in Atlanta, and then 3 on the outskirts there as well. So that's 11 divisions in and around Atlanta. And then I'm digging in here with these forts and stuff, so he can't go up the river. I would say, as much as I don't like him down here, obviously, I'm better about him going here than having gone up the river here, because then he would have been that much closer to Atlanta with more troops, right? So I would have taken this over him going over here, so that's good at least. But we'll see what I can do with that, and then that might be a good counterattack for us. All right, now that the weather's cleared up, I think it's cleared up, right? Yep, it's all cleared up. I'm gonna shoot these guys up, start tearing up the rail lines, and go after supply depots. And then we got Price over here moving up, and then he's going to come up the Mississippi River and kind of continue to harass these different areas. We'll have these 2 areas, so I'm going to move up further in and do that. Okay, let's see. Anything else to report on? I don't think so, although Lincoln did get kidnapped. John Wilkes Booth, a popular actor from Maryland, has kidnapped President Abraham Lincoln as he attended a play at the 7th Street Hospital on the outskirts of Washington. Booth's demands was the release of Southern prisoners of war. We have agreed to release some 10,000 prisoners, and the president is now safe at home in Washington. Unknown to Lincoln, John Wilkes Booth and George Atzerodt, along with many other conspirators involved with this, other conspirators involved with his upcoming assassination, were present in the crowd at the inauguration. See, that looks like he's shooting him. That doesn't look like he's kidnapping him. I don't know. But we did get a boost to morale, so we are now up to 103. I think part of that was the Lincoln abduction, getting POWs back, but then also we got some small victories, so that boosted our morale. So what is his at? His is at 107, so still very, very high, but at least we're getting a little bit closer. what was this? That was a non-consequential battle, so I'm not gonna bother going over that. I did get money this turn, so I went and invested as much as I could in the line infantry. We are like way off, 783. That number will not be coming down anytime soon. Actually, won't be coming down probably for the rest of this game. And then that's the only thing I'm putting my money into. Alright, so let's see if there's a battle next turn up here along the northern front. There may be a battle down here with Lions. There may be a battle down here in Atlanta or near. He is on the move after all. And we'll go from there.